Hi, I'm Michael LaFosse from the Origami Dough Studio, and this lesson is on how to fold my butterfly or fritillary for Emiko, named for Emiko Kruckner, and here are two excellent variations, all three presented in this lesson. Enjoy. I would like this example of the butterfly for Emiko to be mostly white, so I'm starting with that color facing up. I have yellow on the other side. Fold the square paper in half, edge to edge, and unfold. Now we're going to fold the bottom edge to the center crease, and instead of making our pinch marks, we're going to fold fully across. Unfold. Now we're going to make a pinch mark halfway between the last crease and the bottom edge. Fold the bottom edge up to the crease and simply pinch. There's our pinch mark. Place the pinch mark upon the full crease above and fold fully across. Unfold. So you'll have two full-length creases. We're going to fold this corner top edge to the topmost crease. Normally we'd only go to this crease. We're going to do the same thing with the other corner. And now we're going to use this lower crease to fold this flap up. And this gives us a new shape for the wings. You can see there's a bevel outside edge. We're going to repeat these folds on the opposite edge. So rotate the paper around, bottom edge to the center crease, unfold, bottom edge to the recent crease, but only a pinch mark upon the full-length crease, fold fully across, unfold, corners edgewise up to the topmost crease, use the lower crease as a hinge for the flap. Rotate the paper so that it's vertically tall and fold in half, short edge to short edge, the solid color being on the outside. We're going to use this vertical hinge, this crease, to fold the paper in half like a book. That's so we can set up our squash folding. Open the paper like a hood, and for best control, it's actually better to rotate the paper so that you can spread the paper wide. Align the crease with the folded edge below. Keep the layers flat and well registered while you do this. And there's our squash fold. In your paper instruction booklet, the diagram will look like this. Turn the paper over to the other side. Here's our base hinge. We're going to flex it first before squashing. Bring it all the way across. Press along that line and then stand it up vertically. That just makes the squash go much better. We're going to open like a hood. Remember, it's a good idea to rotate the paper for best control. Notice the gap. Try to keep that together with one hand while you flatten the middle with the other. And then you can trace the flattening outline to finish the squash. Fold the square corner to touch the top of the gap. Set the area 90 degrees to the paper below and flip the paper so that these portions become the uppermost part. We're going to open these and flatten them as a squash fold to make the wings. Doing one at a time, open like a hood, align the crease with the center of the V notch, and squash fold. You'll get a nice symmetrical triangle. Let's do the other side. It's important to open that cone shape all the way to the middle of the paper before squash folding. Place and then flatten. You can see how nicely the colors came out with the wing being the dominant white and then we have the yellow accents. To finish the butterfly, as we usually do, mount and fold the body in half. This is the pivot point at the head. We're going to make this mount and folded edge swivel at an angle over the upper wing. Aim the point of the abdomen somewhere between this obtuse corner and this square corner, right about there. And then flatten the paper so that we get a nice corner here and this folding happening behind. Finish the other wing by simply folding it up in front to match. And your folding is actually happening down here. Now we can open the wings. We see the body paper and the head paper. We're going to squash fold the head. It's always a good idea to dig a little pinch mark or a little valley crease on the inside of the head paper so that when you hold the body closed, this keel is puffed open a little bit from the inside. Then it's easy to press flat. The head should look like that at this point. Now we can easily fold this paper tightly behind and make sure that it's flat. Bring the wings together with the body in the middle. Here you can see the head. We're going to taper the abdomen, rotating the paper so that this corner, this set of corners, is uppermost, and you can see the shorter edges at the back of the abdomen. You're going to fold that corner and those shorter edges inward at an angle, tapering toward the back. Let's do the other side. This not only tapers the abdomen, but it also locks the body and wing at the juncture back here, giving it a better shape. Okay, now to fold the wings out, we grab the forewing and the hind wing together as a set, folding at an angle. Right back here where the lock is, and then just up above the head. Turn the paper and match the wing with a fold on the other side. Now we can set them open. And here we have a butterfly for Emiko, also known as the Emiko fritillary. Try the other variations. For this variation, fold as for the butterfly for Emiko or the Emiko fritillary all the way up through step 6. Your paper will look like this. This variation gives you a solid colored butterfly. The trick is flipping the paper over this way first so that you have the solid color facing up. Then we finish the butterfly as we did for the Emiko fritillary. Fold short edge to short edge. Use the vertical crease as a hinge to fold the paper in half. We're going to squash fold. So we open, align, and squash. Do the same thing on the other side, exercising this hinge first. Always do that whenever you're squash folding on the other side of a project. Now we can open the paper, position it for comfort, and squash. Here's the heart shape. Fold the square corner up to the top of the split. Set these areas 90 degrees away from each other. Tip, and one at a time open and symmetrically squash the wings. And here's where you'll see the big difference between the original butterfly for Emiko and this variation. It's a solid colored wing instead of two colors. And this is a nice option. It also gives you a few extra folds showing here and there, which adds a textural detail. As all of our butterflies, we finish by mount and folding the body in half, taking the mount and fold edge and swiveling it so that we have the abdomen aiming somewhere between here and there. That looks good. And then we fold the other wing up to match. Open. We're going to squash fold the head and then narrow the abdomen. And this is in greater detail in the full treatment of the original Emiko. Here comes the thinning of the abdomen. The squashing of the head and the thinning of the abdomen is very common throughout most of the butterfly and moth projects. And so once you know how to do one, you pretty much know how to do that every time. Fold the wings down the same way we did for the Emiko at an angle, making sure we go as far as possible at the back end here and just above the head. The other wing to match. And here is the full color variation of the Emiko fritillary. For this variation, fold all the way up through step 6 for the fritillary for Emiko Kruckner, and let's do something a little different. We're going to actually reverse these flaps, so bend them exactly to the other side along the outermost creases so that your paper looks like this, and then turn the paper over to the other side. Now we have this pattern. And we continue just as for the butterfly for Emiko Kruckner. We're going to bring the two short halves together. Use the vertical crease as a hinge to fold the paper in half. Setting it up for a squash fold, which we're going to do now. Open the paper and squash. Turn it over to the other side. Exercise the base hinge for the other squash. Opening. Keep the layers together at the bottom. Align your center crease and squash. Here's the heart shape. Fold the square corner to the top of the split. Set these two areas 90 degrees from each other and tip the paper. Open and squash each wing. Now you'll see some similarity between the solid colored variation of this butterfly and this new variation, because the wing appears to be all one color, but there is a nice difference. We actually have these slits which exhibit raw edges, and we can make the lunule shape by taking one of the raw edges and pushing it up in the middle and tapering in a curved way like this out towards the ends. A lunule is a moon-shaped fold. Let's do it for each lobe of both wing sets. So we have a forewing and a hindwing on the left side of the model and a forewing and a hindwing on the right side. You could, if you wish, of course, make a large lunule out of this middle edge, but I'm not going to do that for this variation. I'm going to continue on over here. Incidentally, I'm using handmade Origami Duo paper, which is paper that's made at our studio, the Origami studio, and this paper was made by Richard Alexander. It's folding beautifully. It's a nice strong paper. If you use paper with recycled content, the fibers will be fairly short, and so when you make a lunule like this, the paper could split. You don't have to use handmade paper, but you should use paper that has good strength to it. And there's the wing pattern. We finish this variation as we do for all of our butterflies, mountain folding through the middle of the body, swiveling the abdomen to aim toward the back wing, something like this. Fold the other wing up in front to match. Open. We're going to squash fold the head and taper the abdomen. Squash. There's the head. We fold it under. Bring the wings together over the body. Turn the paper in your hand so you can work the back end of the body, folding inward, tapering towards the back. The other side to match. And then we fold each wing out at a pleasing angle, slightly forward, like this, and the other wing to match. And here we have the lunule markings on the butterfly or fritillary for Emiko Kruckner.